So what does the cross mean to me? I'd say it means life, if I had to sum it up in one word. Back in 2006, I was not living a life for Christ. I was into a lot of drugs and alcohol. And on August 26, 2006, we had Tropical Storm Katrina come through here. All the school system shut down, and so I go into town to get some gas, and I realized there was a Corvette for sale. Being my favorite car, I decided I was going to check it out on my way back home. Well, on the way home from that, I got into a car accident. It took fire rescue 23 minutes approximately to cut me out of my car. Got trauma hawked over to St. Mary's Medical Center, where I spent the next 3 weeks of my life. I had 4 broken ribs, a lacerated spleen. My lung collapsed 3 times in the hospital. I had lung contusions, which is just a big word for bruise, and I never experienced healing at all until the pastor and the elders came over and anointed me with oil and prayed over me. After that day, I was out of the hospital within 24 hours. July 7th, 2013 was my next wake-up call, and that's when I was arrested. It was my buddy's birthday party, so after work, we went over to World of Bieri, got there around midnight, and the place closed down at 2. I left shortly after that and got arrested for DUI. That was the lowest point in my life, when I had the most depression. At the time, she's now my wife, but my girlfriend Sarah, she thought I was just going to leave her because she never seen me like that. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't talk to my parents. I didn't talk to coworkers or friends or family or anybody. I just sat around and thought and prayed and was basically asking, why me, God? I knew in my career path I intended to go into, a conviction would basically make it impossible for me to get hired. And I knew that from my accident, it'd be easier for me to be dead than it would for me to be alive here talking today. So what's God's plan for me? Basically how I overcame that was Jesus was my rock my whole life growing up. He just wasn't my first rock, I guess you could say, at that point in time. So I went back to him and did a lot of prayer. Basically found out that because I was going through that and I didn't get a conviction, the state of Florida dropped all charges within 20 days. And because I went through that, it just made me stronger. I didn't have anyone to help me out with it. My family was up in Ohio, didn't even get good cell phone reception. Like I said, Sarah didn't think I was even going to stay with her. My sister never seen me like that. I was always the happy-go-lucky kid. Got to be center of attention. One of the things I did to get me out of it was I joined a men's small group about conquering, being a conqueror for Christ, and not just living your life on a routinely basis, but being able to combat Satan himself and his armies. I strongly encourage anyone who's a man to join a men's small group. It's intensely enriching and very inspirational. I did, and I've seen dramatic changes in my life just this year. Just in the last 6 months, I've gotten married. I've became a deacon here at Palms West Alliance Church. I've gotten 2 promotions at work, and it's all because of Jesus. That's not me. But I'm still not where I want to be. I want to see myself with a more bold prayer life. And then Romans 1:16 is another one of my little go-to Bible verses. Be unashamed of the gospel Jesus Christ. So, to cut it short, the cross and Jesus dying on the cross for me means to me life.